Welcome to another day of hiking here in South Florida. Today finds us at the Cypress Domes hiking trail. I've never been here, so I don't know what to expect. So let's get started. I don't know what CREW stands for, but this is a wildlife and environmental area. And it looks like our journey starts right here through this gate. Here it talks a little bit about the trails. So you can take a one of 2 1.25-mile trails. There's a 3-mile trail. And boy, looks like some nice hiking. And what is a cypress dome? It's a swamp dominated by pine cypress and bald cypress trees. So that's what we'll be seeing. Oh, over here I see something about panthers. Wouldn't it be awesome if we would see a panther? We know that they're in the area. It says if you see them, don't run, give them space, look large by raising your hands. I don't have any small children to pick up, so I think we are good. Look at that. There's Max and Callie. There's a bobcat. And there is a Florida panther. I would love to see any of these animals except the diamondback rattler. I can do without that. I found one run over by a car on my street, so I know that they're around. They're big snakes. It says we're in bear country here, but of course we're in bear country in my own backyard. You've seen those videos. They have posted trails by color. For example, there's yellow. If we go over here, there's a green one. I didn't bother to really check which is which, so we'll just wing it. I'm already facing this direction, so that's the way I'm gonna head. Wow, this vegetation is really lush. And it's a nice walking surface. I am once again in my bare feet. Okay, so they have signs here. I don't know if they are designating the path or telling us information. Oh, this is just telling us about some of the birds. The kite, you can always tell the kite. They are all over the place around my house because they have that V-shaped tail. And it's a swallow-tailed kite, but they're very common in this area. They're pretty birds. It's really a nice, smooth trail. Very well groomed. We've come across some burned out trees here, and it looks like there might have been a fire in the area. You can see how some of these trees are really charred and singed. And behind me I even saw some tree stumps, so maybe there was a fire here. It doesn't look like a controlled burn. It might have been, you never know. Could have been a lightning strike, could have been a stray cigarette. There's no telling. And I'm also seeing some paths. These do not look like people paths. I'm gonna guess deer. I know back in Wisconsin there were a lot of deer trails like that, so I'm betting that it's the white-tailed deer. I know there's a lot of them down here. I wonder what those green pods are. If anyone knows, leave a comment. Here's the continuation of that trail on the other side. Right into more charred trees. Yep, I'll bet there was a fire here. There's another trail off here to the left, and I see that's marked as a yellow trail, so this probably would have looped around from the beginning had we taken this trail and met up with the one we're on. So let's keep moving. Let's keep moseying along. And now we're coming up to a second trail, and this is the Blue Trail. I think we started down the Blue Trail. I don't care. I'm just gonna keep going straight and see where it leads because this is a really beautiful trail. I'm just gonna keep following it. Okay, here it tells where we are. So we just came right down this green trail, and if we would have taken that yellow one, we'd have looped all around and met. And now we're just meeting this one here. So I don't know, maybe we'll take the big white one around and then come back. A lot of ways, a lot of different ways you can go. We could take this down this way and come around and double back, We could come here and do a U-turn and come back up. All kinds of ways. So that's a cool thing about places like this. Every time you come, you can kind of have a new pattern or a new path. I'm sure that we're not going to see everything in today's visit. And this goes really nice and deep into the woods here. I said in the last video, we could film a Tarzan movie in some of these places. It's really amazing how it looks so jungly. We're close to the city. Not real close. It took about a half hour to drive out here. Look at this big rock in the middle of the path. Feels nice and cool on my feet. But let's go on. And here's another path. I actually took a still photo of that path picture. Not a bad idea if you come to a place like this. That way you have all of the paths on your phone. If you ever get confused, you can take a look at it and see where you are. Of course, I don't get confused. We haven't seen any wildlife yet except some of those flying birds. But if a panther or a rattlesnake pop up, I'll be sure to capture it for you. Assuming I'm not running in the other direction. And there is a little bench here along the way. So after a while, if you feel you want to sit down, you can sit on the bench or you can sit on the ground. Your call. There are no rules. Looks like someone was riding a horse through here. Look at these ruts. Someone must have really been driving through here during the wet season. Getting a little darker in here. Maybe this is part of what they refer to as that dome. It's nice because it's noticeably cooler too. So if you come on a hot day, head down some of these trails, nice to get in and out of the shade and having all of that foliage coverage. Look at this. How did they get out of this? This rut is about 2 feet deep. Oh well. And I think across the way there is that other trail because it looks to me like it's going to meet up in a point right here. And look at this, someone set up a trail camera here. So it's probably getting a picture of me taking a picture of it. Really a lot of burning in here. Look at this one, it's burned halfway through the trunk. When we go up, there's still some green on it. These rocks are interesting too. They almost look like, I don't know, formed by coral or something, don't they? Look at all that charred timber lying on them. And as we move out of the dark part, it gets really bright and green again. Absolutely gorgeous. See another charred set of trees right here. Now we're coming to a part where there seems to be a lot more of that stone and that rock. A lot of variety here. This is really a fun trail to come to. These trails are so well groomed. You know, you don't have to worry about rough, rugged terrain. If you want to bring a family, the whole family could certainly follow this trail. It's really, really nice. Be an enjoyable afternoon. Here's another bench. This one looks like not too many people have decided to sit on it. And look at this. Suddenly out of nowhere, we're walking alongside a river. Wow, this was unexpected. Okay, there's a little path that I can get into and we can take a look. Get a better view of this. Look at that. It's kind of still. It's not flowing very quickly, if at all. I'm not seeing a lot of activity in this river. That was interesting to see, really unexpected. Isn't that something how it was charred? They have those interesting patterns. What in the world happened here? surrounding this tree. Look at this. And by some quirk of fate, it continues to grow. Good Lord, we just came across this alligator. This thing is only like 20 feet from us. I looked off to the right and there was an alligator. Look at him. I did not see this coming. Wow, he's not a bad sized gator either. You know what? I'm wondering, no, that's a gator. I thought maybe it was one of the crocodiles that looked like a long snout from here. But I think that's a gator. Holy cow. Just to give you an idea, he's close, really close. Oh my God, there's another alligator over here on the rock. Holy cow. I did not expect this. Oh, he's a big one. He is a big boy. Can you see him there? That is a big alligator. Holy cow. And he's looking right at us. Oh man, we're gonna keep going. This thing's about 10 feet away. Oh, another gator just jumped in the water. Can you see the splash? There must be gators lining this entire river. I guess if you're skittish around gators, you can come here. Don't take this particular path because obviously there's gators here. No, we just walked on past, so we didn't feel threatened by the gators. But just know that they're here. Here's another bench, not too far from those gators. I'm not seeing any gators on the opposite shore, probably because the sun is shining down on this shore, and so they're sunning themselves. Now there's some flattened out grass area here. Is this another trail? Yeah, looks to be. You know what it looks like? It looks like it's just connecting with a trail across the way and kind of crossing over the water. I want to take a look down here. I'm going to be real careful because I didn't like these gators being around the water. But let's see what we see. Yeah, it's just getting too muddy. I don't want to go through the mud. But interesting. Looks like that's another walking trail right over there. Decision time. Our trail diverges into two different directions. I'm going to go this way just because I see a sign there and I want to see what it says. Apparently we're coming up the Wild Coffee Trail, and this is part of the White Loop. And this is a real narrow trail. I'm not going to take it because I can tell already it's going to be buggy. As soon as I enter that little path, that's just a little narrow walking path, the flies started buzzing around and I thought, nope, let's stay in the more wide open area. It'll just be a more comfortable trail. But if that's the type you like, at least you know it's there. So we've been doubling back now, but I am going to take this trail back. I'm not sure which one it is. The sign here says Cara Prairie Preserve Trails across a canal. So it says seasonally wet, but we're not in the wet season. So I think I'll try it. I decided against it, not going to take that trail because I looked, remember I told you about taking that picture? So I looked at the picture and that's a red trail and it goes off in a completely different direction than where the car is parked. We're coming to the end of the trail and actually just doubled back and came down the same trail. I checked some of the other trails along the way and it's already been a good long hike, and those would have taken me on a pretty substantial loop. Might have added I don't know, a mile or more. So I just came back the same way. So that's why you didn't see a lot of it, because it would have been repetitious. Strangely enough, those two alligators were still standing there. or whatever you call an alligator, resting. So thanks for joining me, everybody. As always, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you here next time on the Average Me channel.